Checking on the status of my Amazon delivery.
Oh, you got biscuits coming?
Can't remember what I've got coming. Yeah, dog food.
Yeah, bit of dog food. Which one did you go for?
Wag.
Wag!
Wag, because it's cheap and
Footballer's
says
wife,
complete. So, fair enough.
Yeah, I can't. Like, Life. I think I go for Life.
Life.
Fan of it. Yeah, just a bit of Life.
Feed my dog Life.
Yeah, Life and lamb spines.
Life.
And,
I can't find lamb spines, but I'm finding tracheas.
I'll send you my lamb spine guy.
Yeah.
There are. I think it was like a minimum spend of like 20 quid, but you get a lot of stuff. But lamb spine's pretty big, and not like I don't think it's a whole spine.
No.
But it's a spine.
Yeah.
It's more than.
I'm getting like pig's ears. He likes tracheas. Pretty good.
Yeah.
But the winner is like it's like a rolled up pig skin, and it's like 2 foot long.
Yeah.
And he just devours it all in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's just the thrill of the hunt. Killed a pig, rolled it up.
Yeah.
Fucking big victory. Big victory. Well, yeah. Did you remember your wedding?
Yeah. Well, Christ, has it been that fucking long since we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We recorded early because of remembering wedding.
Yeah.
And then, it's longer than usual.
Yeah. It's been a fortnight since we last spake.
Yeah.
Is spake a word? I feel Shakespearean.
Spade. Could be. Or Homer. Or apparently Jack London. Do you know who Jack London is?
No fucking idea.
No idea. I thought he was some kind of rapper, but apparently some kind of literary genius or something like that.
Right.
We'll get into that later when we get to the
Sorry,
propaganda
I'm still
side
looking
of
at
things.
dog food. Right, gone now.
No,
There,
dog
I'm
food.
concentrating now. Focus.
Yeah. So yeah, been about a fortnight since we spake.
Yeah.
And you had a memorial, a wedding memorial. Or
Wedding
some kind.
memorial. Yes, I mourned the loss of my wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, it died 3 years ago.
Oh, was it good?
Yeah. It was nice. We had a staycation, which is where you instead of going on holiday, you don't.
That's what I do. I'd rather just leave me alone for a while.
We started like looking at the costs and everything. And we were like, oh, it's fine. We're due a holiday, but realistically we can get away for like 4 days, and it's going to cost us 500 quid. And we were like, well, we could just spend the 500 quid on something that we want rather than something that's going to be gone. So we spent our holiday emptying out a shed and putting a hot tub in it, which was decent.
Yeah, so was that still the inflatable one, or did you spend the 500 on it?
We had to get a new one because that one was just fucked, just full of berries and newts.
Oh, it's too fruity now. It's got too much of a citrus zest.
Yeah.
Can't be dealing with it. That's fair enough.
Yeah, but someone came and bought the old pump. They were like, oh, I'll give you a tenner for it. All right. Fair enough.
I wonder if you get like a hanging hot tub. I'm sure you can.
That's a lot of weight. I mean...
Yeah, but like it could be cool.
I mean, you can get one of those infinity pools that hang off the edge of cliffs and shit.
Do that. Hang off the edge of your shed. Could be fun. Could be interesting.
Yeah.
Can you relax in a shed? I'm sure you can. I might be clearing out my shed this weekend.
You've been threatening to clear out your shed and like turn it into a gym and shit for years.
Well, it's just like, it's too short and it's on legs. So you can kind of, it was back in the English age where you just bought garages on legs.
Right.
And the people just come by, they put it on the floor.
Yeah.
So it's like, it can replace it with like a shipping container or something, I think. But it's just, in terms of investing money in a house, could just get another house.
Yeah.
But could just like
To be
also
fair,
just avoid doing that.
I know people that have done the shipping container route, and you can get them kind of insulated and sort of just ready to actually build in for like, and delivered for about $2,000, which is pretty good.
Yeah, I've spoken to a few people about it over the years and stuff like that. It seems right. You can get like wooden structures as well built that aren't too bad.
Yeah.
I nearly got a sauna a couple of years ago. I was like, oh, you could put a sauna in it. Just have a sauna in my garden. It'd be fine.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, it feels a bit too luxurious. And it's just like, oh, I don't know. I'd end up found just in a sauna because I didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
And then it sounds really weird. Like, well, how would the dog react to you just cooking in a wooden box? They'd go,
Yeah.
what are you doing? But you could have Netflix in there. I thought that's a weird thing to do.
Well, right. You can have TVs fitted and stuff.
Yeah, and radio and
Fair
shit
enough.
like that.
I've seen like shower radio and stuff that's been around for ages, but I haven't seen TVs in the sauna.
Yeah,
Feel
it
like
sounds awesome, but like it does sound a bit exuberant.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, I don't last long in a sauna anyway. I mean, maybe you mean like a steam room, or do you mean like a hot,
sauna,
dry, like a dry sauna?
Probably, yeah. There's like settings,
right? Okay.
like a humidifier.
In like the dry ones, I can't last long in a steam room. I'm a bit better. But like, I couldn't be in there for long enough to actually watch something. Like
I do about 20-minute stints. That's probably enough for like a short episode. Then take a break.
Yeah, or you could watch like four episodes of Game of Thrones at once on like double speed.
This is true. Get 4 saunas.
Yeah,
just kind of dart in between them all. Get them working. Yeah. Yeah, but then it's just a slippery slope. I'm an addict, really. So, like, I'd get a sauna, then I'd have to get a plunge pool, then I'd have to get some kind of monkey frame.
Yeah.
And then I'd have to, like, start building a space ladder or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, your place is a bit of a blessing in disguise, though. Like, your garden's like it's a blank slate, really. You don't have to take anything out to start putting things in or rethinking design. You can just put shit there because there's nothing there.
Sure, because,
it's just a square.
Shed, garage, But yeah, it's just weird that my garage is on legs, so I just kind of throw it away. But there's no fence. It just becomes an open gateway. So.
Oh, right. So the garage is the fence.
Yeah, so I have to like do a bit of construction around it. But yeah, I'm just not sure whether to invest in it. And yeah, sauna was a tempting, fleeting moment. And I was like, oh, it's like $3,000. It's like, oh, I don't know. Feels like a bit of a, I don't know. That's like what you do with your retirement, right? Like, I'm going to die here. I don't want to accept I'm going to die here just yet.
Yeah.
Wait it out a little bit longer.
It's shit because you can't take it with you.
Sure, you could, maybe.
I don't know if it's a.
It came as like a flat pack thing.
A flat pack sauna, IKEA sauna.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. They're like, you put it together yourself. It's like, really? You want me to put hot coals in a box that I'm going to cook in without any supervision or any kind of like education? Yeah.
For $3,000, sign me up.
$3,000. They ship it from overseas or something. It's like, yeah, we just drop it off at your house and you build it. Like, okay.
It's just a load of
Lego.
wood and coal. It's like,
I just add fire.
I mean, I could have bought wood and coal.
Yeah. But I might be emptying my garage. I don't know if I put a hot tub in it. There's some kind of like weird workbench in there, I think.
Yeah.
From the electrician that was here before me.
Oh, that guy.
So
the one that put like network ports in your spare bedroom.
Yeah, and just like, I don't know what kind of liquids in the walls that's meant to be charging the lights.
Right.
The things just explode and the doors are falling off. I need to reattach my door. That's another thing I'm going to try and do.
That's been off for a while.
DIY weekend. Yeah. Well, it's just, you just get used to it.
Yeah.
Plus, it feels quite mythological to like move like a slab of wood to start your day.
Yeah.
But then, things just get stuck under it and then the paint chips, doesn't it?
Yeah. But your whole thing
middle-aged story.
The whole thing was moving the rock. Not the rock,
this is
our
true.
rock.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about paint chipping. It sounds too mature for me.
Yeah.
Don't want to, oh no, not the paint. It's not in one piece.
I know.
Oh, no.
I remember talking to someone about decorating or something. He was just like, oh yeah, we have to sand all the walls down to get it like dead, pristine, smooth before you put the paint on. I was just like, what? Just what?
Just put more paint on it.
Yeah. Just shove
Fill
some
the gaps
stuff
with
in the
dry
holes.
noodles.
Yeah. And then just paint it. Why do you need it to be perfect?
Bloody cowboy builders.
You're painting it white. You can't even tell.
Just use yogurt, mate.
Yeah.
Relax.
Why are you feeling the walls?
Fucking chill out. I think people just take stuff too seriously. I like a good cooking reality show every now and then. And Hell's Kitchen was an alright one. It's like a Gordon Ramsay Vegas thing. But they stopped it, so I started watching MasterChef. Oh, yeah. Like the American MasterChef. It's so ridiculous. If you want to be Master Chef, you've got to chop 500 onions perfectly in 6 hours. Go. People just walk around like, oh, these onions are shit. You can't be Master Chef. Get out. What the fuck's going on? My favourite part was there was like a cooking, there's like a, you know, show us your signature dish or something, or cook some, like there was some kind of theme of like, oh, you've been given this mystery box, create a wonderful dish. And when they went up to criticise this one woman, they ate it, and I'm not joking, he went, oh, well, it's delicious. So I guess you've got that going for you. I was like, isn't that the whole point of this whole thing?
Yeah.
You're complimenting that. I've won? Yeah, you've won. I'm so confused.
Me and Vince were talking about this show the other day that we were watching on. It was a few years ago now on Channel 4. It only got one series, but it was great. It was Nigella. What's her name? Nigella
Lawson?
Is that? Yeah, that's the one. And they had to prepare the perfect meal on a single spoon. Like, just, here's a spoon.
That's like a what am I doing with my life moment, right? When it's,
yeah.
I mean, it's, you know, whatever. It's fun, interesting challenge.
It's the chef's version of, like, building the ship in the bottle kind of thing, I guess. It's like, just...
Give me not enough food on a spoon.
Yeah, it's just about, like, getting the perfect bite or the perfect mouthful. I can't remember what it's called.
It's a roast dinner on that spoon. No, it isn't. Yeah, it is.
It's a tiny chicken.
Yeah, oh, is it just mashed potato? Yeah.
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 It's good mashed.
And then, like people get like, so what tomatoes did you use? Oh, I used tin tomatoes. Use tin. You get. Hang on, my mic's gone diabolical. The shock of tomatoes. Oh, I used tin tomatoes instead of freshly squeezed tomatoes. Oh my God. For me, you know I'm a critic, right? I say things in magazines. Oh my God.
Yeah.
How dare you give me tinned tomatoes?
Yeah, but
You're very disappointed.
It's bollocks, though. It's like, well, just taste it, and do you like it? Like, I can't remember if I'd mentioned this on here, but like, for my wife's birthday, I took her to this wine tasting thing.
Oh yeah.
And like, there comes we were trying all these wines throughout the day, and there came a point at the end of, like, in the middle of the day and at the end of the day when they'd look at the ones we'd just tasted and be like, so which was your favourite? But before they did that, like there were people had tried some and be like, nah, I don't really like that. Nah, well, that's okay. And like, oh, I like this. It smells like leather and like all of that shit. And then they'd be like, which is your favourite? And we would be honest because we'd circled one like on the way through, be like, that's the one out of all of them. But everybody else in the room suddenly decided that their favourite one was the most expensive one. In spite of the fact that fucking, like, during it, they were like, nah, it's not really for me, not my jam and everything like that. And it's like, it doesn't the price obviously doesn't fucking mean anything, does it? It's like the tin tomato shit. Just taste it. If I hadn't told you it was tin tomatoes, would you give a fuck?
Oh, but you're poisoning me. I'm a man with an experienced palate.
Well,
and
experience
now you've soured it
my food and shut the fuck up.
Yeah. But it's just people take things too seriously. This onion's too big. Can't have it.
Well,
You're fired. You're fired. What? You know, if it's too big, you can cut it small. No. You get one chance and you're fucked. Get out. Get out. It's just that level of... I love it. Because when you see it, I don't know whether it's passion, but it's definitely hate, right? It's definitely hate behind that. It's like, yes, you're energetic, you're pointedly doing things. I mean, you're a maniac, but as long as you acknowledge you're a maniac, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's rather that than being like really lethargic about cooking dinner for like a reality. Oh, I don't want to be doing this. Like that Russian singer on the... singer show that was just like, please, I just want to go home.
Don't vote for me.
But like, it's more interesting to have someone just take something so incredibly seriously. It's great. It's much better.
Yeah.
But yeah, just what happens when people take things too seriously? Yeah. But you remembered your wedding. You put a hot tub in your shed. Life's good.
Yeah, life's good. I ate some black rice today. That was a new experience.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's like brown rice, but not.
More charcoal.
Yeah. It was all right. They said on the pack, oh, it's a bit nutty. I was like, it wasn't. It was all right. I don't get like the different kind of types of grain and stuff. It's like I can definitely tell a big difference between sort of white rice and brown rice because it's more a textural thing. And then there's like a weird kind of wheatiness to it. But apart from that, it's all the fucking same. It's like, are you eating couscous or quinoa? I was like, I don't know.
Guess depends how you cook it, I guess.
Yeah. But that's the other thing. Black rice is just not convenient. It took like an hour. And just boiling it in water. It was shit. Anyway.
It's like black bean. I can't remember what it was called, but it was some kind of like a black bean dish that, it took about 6 hours to cook. That was always incredibly nice. But it was like, just have to boil it and boil it and boil it and add more water and boil it some more.
Yeah.
And then eventually it tenderizes in its gorgeousness.
Yeah. I remember I think the first time I had like, what the fuck was it? Was it garlic rice or Mexican rice? There was some kind of rice thing that you made me because the chefs next door to the place that you worked in London and Covent Garden used to give you like a dish of it through the hatch and you were like, this is fucking amazing. And it was just like, I don't know. I think you fry the rice while it's raw before you cook it.
Well, there's loads of different ways to do rice, but like I think the key to... There was a key random point of contention that you and I had once, because I always found it really weird that after you cooked the rice and seasoned it and everything, you then like rinsed it under cold water.
Oh no,
I always do that first.
Right.
So because I see it as that if you season it and then you pour loads of water over it, then you're kind of like removing a lot of the seasoning.
Yeah, it depends how I cooked it. Like if I'm just doing boiled rice, I typically like wash it off with boiling water afterwards, just so to loosen it and to fluff it up because the salt water has cooked into it, so it doesn't really wash anything off. But if I'm doing like the frying with the garlic and everything, I just have it as it is. But it's just it's one of those things, and I know a lot of people don't do it and everything like that, but it's just something that my mum and dad always did, so it's just one of those things that stuck with me.
Well, it's like to get the starch off and stuff to when it's raw. And then, if you want it fluffier, add more water, I guess. Yeah. But there's different ways for different things.
I'm not as arsey about that shit these days. It's like, just do what you want. I don't care.
Yeah, just add a bit of zucchini. Did you know that...
Tin tomatoes.
Do you know what rutabaga is?
Yeah, it's an American name for something really normal. Is it Swede or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned that. I've tried learning new things for a while now, and every time I learn something, I just feel more tragic.
I only found out, I think it was from watching Hell's Kitchen or something.
Yeah, it was just like, it's just Swede. And what, they just don't want to say Swede?
Yeah. They want to say this, they want to say 8 syllables instead of 1.
Yeah, and then vomitoriums are a myth.
What?
I didn't know that. You know that I thought vomitoriums were, ancient Rome.
If you need anything in your garden...
fuck a hot tub. Just get a vomitorium. Yeah, I always thought like there was this big thing about socialising where you would drink and eat and then vomit and eat and drink some more. But apparently it's a big myth. Doesn't exist. Never happened. No, apparently a whole big made up fairy tale.
So they didn't
Romans
vomit.
version of fairy tales.
There was no vomit in the Middle Ages.
They didn't Orium. All right, they vomited, but without.
They just went to the toilet like a normal person.
Yeah,
didn't have a vomiting palace.
Yeah, vomiting sauna, if you will, to some kind. I thought that was quite cool. It was quite a fun little cultural thing. What do? We eat and vomit in the same room.
Oh, nice.
We got a little,
Me too.
Little piping and plumbing for it.
That's because I live in a studio flat. Yeah. So black rice. My dog's made progress. He's conquered his fear of the pet shop.
All right.
Which is good.
This didn't consumerism.
Yeah, it took him a few times. We just walked past it and just like, nope. You know when they dig all their feet in, like, nah, fuck that, not doing that.
Right.
But I found that
Maybe it's a vet thing.
Yeah, I just kept going and be like, fuck it, we're just gonna keep going until you come in on your own, and eventually, he just walks in on his own now. It's just I get it. It's just a bombardment of smells and different loads of shit. I imagine it's just fucking mental in there for them, and it's just like you can't really pick it up on a human level because you're just like, oh, this place just smells like dog food. but it doesn't. It
Is
smells
it
like
that,
1,000 different kinds of dog food. And
is it the small one that's in like the village centre near you?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like a small vet shop. I thought maybe it was like, Pets at Home or whatever. They
no,
have like vets and stuff in there.
Yeah, no, I haven't bothered
So, like,
with that.
maybe
And to be fair, that I'd understand because like just big fluorescent lights and just loads of aisles and music and like all of that stuff. Like I imagine that place could be quite intimidating, but it's just like taking them around a supermarket or something. But no, it's just this little one.
Well, I took Honey to the vets recently, and she's had it once before, but she has to have some medication like squirted up her nostrils.
Oh yeah.
And she loves the vets, but she knew it, and she's only experienced it one other time, I think.
Yeah.
Since I've had her, but she recognised that this is the nose shit, isn't it? I'm not. No, not today. I'll do everything else, but not this. It's like you've only had it once. Like no, I remember. Okay. It's like yeah.
Does she do the same thing? Experience. Like just plant her feet and fuck this. I'm not.
No, just passively aggressive. It was like, well, I'm not going to look at you.
Oh, right, okay.
No, I'm just not going to do this. But everything else, she's fine. But yeah, I was just surprised that she'd experienced something once and already had an aversion to it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even necessarily, it can just be one bad experience with something.
I guess so. Yeah, you don't really know what they're going to kind of remember either. He doesn't give a fuck about the vets. He loves the vets.
Just hates the pet shops.
Yeah, just hates the things where we go and buy him stuff. But then, as I've bought him stuff each time we've gone in, now he's just he won't follow me in, but he'll go in first, which is weird. Like I'm not going to let. It's just my decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has he bought his own toys yet? And he started doing that a little while ago.
Sort of. They were a bit high up, so I took a bunch down and be like, pick one. He went, I'll have the duck. Right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've done that, but I did it more with the treats to kind of figure out what he'd go for. Unsurprisingly, he went for goat's ears, which freaks everybody in the house the fuck out. I didn't care, but finding because the goat's ears have still got fur on them, so finding these dead animal furry ears all over the house is just a bit weird for.
Wait till I send you my lamb spine guy.
People
you could buy a pig's head. Get a head of a pig, put it in the living room.
That's decent. My wife and her sister, they dealt with they don't mind the pig's ears. They didn't care about the trachea, but the little goat ears were just couldn't deal.
Fair enough.
Don't know. It's women and furry things, and it's just it used to be cute, and now it's dead, and he's eating it. But that's everything that he eats.
Yeah, it's just the spine has been de-haired, has been shaved.
Yeah,
it's a shaved trachea. It's fine.
Mm.
Yeah, good times. Times.
Yeah.
I went through. I had my first migraine I've ever had.
Oh dear.
It's a lot of fun that was.
Yeah, I always heard those were just really shit.
Yeah, it's just it's really weird because all it's like an EMP. You can't use any technology anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's just any screen, you just
light.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just kind of sit in just lay down in a room, put your head in the bath, and just completely zonk out.
Yeah.
Completely unaware of everything going on in the outside world.
Yeah.
Not that I pay that much attention, to be fair.
I guess. It's kind of like when you flued up, innit? It's like you just enter a fever state where just days fade into each other.
Yeah, well, it was just weird because it was, it's extreme headaches with nausea. And you go that always feels like an alarming sign for, something's weird in your brain.
Yeah.
It's no, you just got a headache and it's just really bad. You're like, oh, cheers. I'm fine with that, but it's there's part of me that's well, I've got to be responsible and investigate this shit. And if you tell me that, I always feel weird about seeking medical advice because you don't want to be a burden. I'm still waiting on a doctor's appointment to call me after 18 months.
Yeah.
I mean, it's entirely possible they've completely forgotten.
Probably.
But it's medical advice. I'm not going to disagree with doctor's advice when the doctor says what you should do is wait for your phone call. All right, I'll do that. 18 months later. But so I don't want to be a burden, but it's it's just, it's, these weird things are happening. Should I check it out? There's a headache. Cool. Sorry to have wasted your time.
Yeah.
I was going to go lay down then. Oh, is that the medicine? Lay down for a bit. All right, fine. It's fine. But yeah. So migraines off the bucket list, isn't it? It's always a bit of fun.
Christ. So,
What other diseases can go on there?
Yeah, there isn't really any relief for a migraine, is there? You just have to wait it out.
Well, apparently vomiting's meant to relieve a lot of people. It didn't relieve mine. I just vomited some more. And it was just like, you just kind of sleep it off. But yeah, it's like it's like a headache that is not really a specific trigger a lot of the times. Like, it could be vision, could be stress, could just be
the
much
CTE
cabbage.
guys get migraines and shit, don't they? Like the guys that have got like concussions and that.
Yeah, I don't think I've had a concussion. I had like a bike accident when I was a kid. I always thought that maybe that's kind of because they say that if you have a head injury, your personality goes a little bit against the norm.
You lose like impulse control applicable. Or something like that. Is a big thing.
Yeah, and just like sense of awareness and embarrassment.
Yeah.
So all those like social, your brain just starts firing in different ways, I guess. I think maybe that could be something funny that could have interestingly changed the route of some people's paths.
Yeah.
But yeah, no head injuries recently. But yeah, just a random thing that came. I was like, oh, this is just adds to the fun.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of a laugh, wasn't it? It was a bit of a laugh. But yeah, it's nothing else much going on. Remembered my non-wedding. That was fun. Just my non-wedding. I just remembered that I wasn't married and was like, all right. I'm going to put Netflix on and watch something I've already watched again because I can.
Yeah.
It's my time's not valuable. That's not how it is. No, it is. But yeah, we did the How Are You, Steve? Without How Are You, Steve? So it's good. So it's got a lot of news.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh yeah, we've got loads of news.
I've got 4 things, and if you've got loads, you'll probably say at least 3 of them. So
maybe
we'll see.
Have you got Paul Whitehouse?
No.
No. This was in the Stoke Sentinels. I think it was Silverdale.
It's in the Paul Whitehouse.
No, it's a different one. It's a dead one.
Oh.
Did you know Silverdale? It rings a bell. Silverdale County Park. 55-year-old Paul Whitehouse had been drinking when he went for his regular swim at Silverdale County Park. But he ignored a warning from a local angler to stay out of the water and got into difficulties before shouting for help. 2 teenage cousins had alerted the emergency services after noticing Paul from Earl Street in Newcastle-under-Lyme in difficulty at 2 in the afternoon. He was later pulled from the water. So this guy's went for a swim drunk.
In the pond?
In the county park. Yeah, so I guess there's a park, there's a pond there. He did it all the time, apparently. This time he called for help and then he drowned.
Did he die?
Oh yeah, he's dead. Oh. It gets better though, because he's kind of like, what a legend. 2 teenage cousins alerted. One of the teens said, "My cousin shouted at me saying, 'There's someone in the water.' It was a person. He looks like he's swimming." 5 minutes later, he's half swimming, half drowning. So something's going on. 5 minutes later, he's bobbing up and down. We asked if he wanted help, but then he went underneath the water. Then he came back up, and my cousin ran down to help him. The other teen added, "We saw something floating. We looked closer and saw a man. He didn't look distressed." Well, he's quite chilled about drowning.
Dead. He's not distressed.
He doesn't look stressed.
He was about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. Apparently he was still alive because a few moments after he was not looking distressed, he started waving his arms and shouted, "Help." I shouted, "We're calling the police."
Okay.
It's a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
Why are you calling the police? Call an ambulance, right?
Yeah.
If someone's drowning. Call an ambulance.
Fire brigade? To get them out of the... Who the fuck do you call for that?
Well, to say there's someone drowning, it seems weird that they call the police would be... Because I imagine it's the same number
Coast
for all
Guard?
3, isn't it? Get in the pond. Air rescue? I don't know. Something. I ran towards him. He was very drunk. At that point, he was under the water. He started going backwards. He went in the water and back out. His friend then said, "I've just seen my best friend die." He's not dead yet. What? I ran towards him. He was very drunk. He was under the water. He started going backwards. He went in the water and back out. His friend said, "I've just seen my best friend die."
So, wait. So he was with somebody and that somebody didn't help him?
No, he was like, "Oh, I've just seen him die. I'm still... I've seen you die, mate." Angler Paul Kelsall says Paul was wearing black shorts, socks and shoes. Oh, well. If he was wearing black shorts, it's the end. He was grieving already.
Socks and shoes. It's like when you go... did you ever do that thing in high school where they make you swim in your pyjamas?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. You don't swim in socks and shoes.
Just swimming in a house fire.
Yeah.
For that odd occasion where you jump out of the window into the hot tub in your shed and you can't get out very quick. You need to be able to swim out of it in your pyjamas.
Yeah.
He told the court, I was fishing. I saw a man and I said it's dangerous to swim in there. He came out of the water and apologised. Later, for a second time, I saw the man go through with a rubber ring. So, this guy's wasted, goes swimming. Fisherman says it's dangerous. He goes, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll go get my rubber ring. I'll go get it. He runs out, comes back in with a rubber ring like, whoa. That's how I see it in my mind anyway. I think it's great.
How do you drown in a rubber ring?
Don't know, maybe it floated away. The roofer was waiting for a date to start his alcohol rehabilitation. Okay, so he was waiting for alcohol rehab. North Staffordshire Senior Coroner Andrew Barclay gave the cause of death as immersion in water. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he drowned, so he immersed. He was immersed. Okay.
Very, very immersed.
Fair enough. He said he entered the water having consumed a large amount of alcohol, but he was used to taking alcohol. So it wasn't like
he was used to being pissed. Yeah, but it's the swimming that killed him.
It was the immersion. He was immersed in alcohol, that's fine. He was able to stay with it, but when he immersed in the water, he loved to swim and would enter at any available opportunity. He seems to go into the water and is told off by a fisherman, so he goes deeper in the water. He died of an accident. A contributing factor is the misuse of alcohol. A contributing factor.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just part of it. He was wasted, but he drowned. But he was also wasted. So contributing factor.
Lack of armbands.
Yeah, but he had a rubber ring. Oh,
yeah.
I'm so sorry.
But the
rubber ring. Fisherman, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it's meant to be. It's meant to be dangerous because of all like the pond weed and shit under the surface, and apparently people just get tangled up in it and fucked.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense. I mean, I've swam in lots of ponds before, and yeah, there's weeds and stuff, but I don't know. Accidents do happen.
Yeah.
Speaking of accidents, a young dad was found dead in a recycling plant after he's thought to have climbed inside a commercial waste bin, which was emptied into a rubbish truck.
Oh, God.
I think we covered this a while ago, but this is like, they've followed up on it. Adam Forrester was enjoying a night out in Handley just before his body was discovered in a pile of waste. Now, almost 4 years on from the tragedy, his family finally hope to get some answers. I mean, I guess you would want concrete answers. You wouldn't be like, well, we found him in a bin.
Yeah.
You'd be like, yeah, but why was he in a bin? Like, was he put in the bin? Was he murdered? And
I mean,
the body hidden in there?
How do we know?
How do we know? The first day of the 3-day hearing focused on his last movements. He was staying at the Macari Centre. What's the Macari Centre? Is that like a hotel? Hostel?
Macari.
Support? I don't know. Gone out with a hostel, I think.
Okay.
So he's staying at a hostel. He'd gone out for the night with a friend from the hostel, Andrew Lloyd. Both had been drinking. Mr. Lloyd recalled, well, before we went into the nightclub, we took off our jackets, we put them in a couple of bins. They were the big ones that get lifted up. And we'll pick them up after the nightclub. Oh, yeah. You remember, you go out for a nightclub, instead of like paying for the cloakroom fee, you just put it in a bin?
Yeah.
I've never heard of this.
No.
I mean, I was cheap when I went out, so I just like tied it around my waist.
Yeah, well,
but,
we used to just drink water. We wouldn't pay for a cloakroom. We'd further
shove
go out without a coat, probably.
Just put it in a bin.
Yeah.
So I guess like if you're keeping your, and then that kind of makes sense, right? If you're drinking, you've put you've put your coat in a bin. After you've want to go home, you've got to go get your jacket, right? Where's the jacket?
Because your
properly
keys are
in the
in
bin.
there. And
everything you own, slop in the bin. You'll be fine. They intended to pick up the coats later. It's not known if he had fallen into the bin while trying to retrieve his jacket. At 4 a.m, Stephen Fricker began his shift as a driver at H. Brown & Son Recycling. His route took him to 3 collection points, included 2 bins near a nightclub which contained glass and municipal waste.
And and a jacket.
And Adam.
Yeah.
What was his name, Adam? I think it was Adam. Adam Forrester. In total, he put 102 bin loads into his wagon. And this is the guy whose truck found Adam, so he poured 102 bin loads on top of him at most.
Christ.
Giving Ezra...
Crushed it again and again.
Yeah, put some glass on him. Oh. Why not? Whoop, under attack.
Crazy dog. Yeah.
Giving evidence yesterday, Mr. Fricker said he checked every bin before pushing the button and letting the waste fall into the hydraulic compaction. And he did state there was nothing untoward. Well, it wasn't untoward. It was more of a toward. These checks include kicking the bin, lifting the lid of the bin, and looking through a viewing window in the truck.
Wow.
So he kicked the bin. He wouldn't have been in there if he kicked the bin, right?
No, that is the universal check. That's like kicking the tyres and shit.
That's checking for the guy covered by glass. It's like, oh no, he kicked it, he's fine.
Yeah.
Miss North Staffordshire Assistant Coroner Margaret Jones. I don't know why they're treating these like coroners and autopsy people like celebrities. Name dropping coroners. Adam was 16 stone and 6 feet tall. If he was in the bin and you kicked it, it's likely you would have found him. Mr. Fricker replied, yeah. The investigation continues.
So
that's all right. So yeah, the mystery of how this guy got into a truck, I kind of feel like, well, he stored his clothes in the truck. The bin was his walk-in wardrobe, and with that kind of comes a lot of risk.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a bold move.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten in a wheelie bin before when drunk.
Yeah, but that was at the house.
Yeah.
That was in the kitchen. That was more of a question as to why was there a bin in the kitchen.
Wasn't that a bin? So I went back from a poker tournament of some kind, I think. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, the guy was crushed by bins and found in a bin. The family want questions, but the answers are pretty sad.
Yeah.
Covered in glass. In other news, a California restaurant owner is turning heads with a sign outside his establishment that asks patrons to show proof of being unvaccinated.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so he only wants people who aren't. He wants non-vaccinated people within his residence. And no problem with that. You can do whatever you want. And if people don't like it, they don't have to go.
That was my response. It was like, well, fuck it. Who cares?
Well, the thing that makes him a bit of a bellend is he thinks he's a... where is it? He said, I feel blessed to be on the front lines of this battle in defence of our liberty and freedom. He runs a pasta restaurant.
Yeah.
It's not the front lines, you knobhead. We have zero tolerance for treasonous anti-American stupidity. Anti-American stupidity is an oxymoron, isn't it? Thank you for pondering. Taped to the front of the door, more American counties, cities and businesses doubling down on anti-American lockdown mandates. Well, Basilico's Pasta e Vino just tripled down. From day one, we've never complied. We've banned masks, and now we require proof of being unvaccinated. It's just a weird flag to fly. I don't get it.
To each their own. Like it's part of that whole.
Well, sure, but don't think you're doing something important. You know what I mean? It's like if you want to hold a belief and run your business how you want, perfectly fine. But to be like, this is the front line of science. You're like,
right. It's that thing. yeah. No, I mean, like, I agree with him in some ways. Like, I'm not one of these people that thinks vaccines should be mandated. But at the same time, yeah, you're not on the front. Just do what you want. Why do you have to make a big?
Well, he's gone the other way. He's not saying that vaccines should be mandated. He's saying they should be banned, right? Because he's saying you cannot enter my premises if you have a vaccine. So he's actually going against the vaccinate. He's truly going anti-vax.
And
he's like,
I don't know.
Don't come in here if you're vaccinated.
I read that, and I took it as being sort of against those people that were like, you can't come in unless you're vaccinated. is kind of just taking the opposite stance as opposed to actually being against vaccines. He's against telling people what to do based on... I don't know.
But he's going against it by doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And by going against people who's saying you should be vaccinated, he's taking the stance of saying you shouldn't be vaccinated.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those where he's like, I'm making a statement. It's like, the statement's stupid. You see I didn't look that much into it, but there was something about the BBC. People were protesting against vaccination and all the isolation stuff.
Yeah.
And they did it by protesting outside of the BBC, but the BBC haven't been there for 8 years or something. So they were protesting about our medical research is better than your medical research, and they couldn't Google where the BBC
was.
So it was just like, you're not helping yourself. It feels like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just like, guy, dude, you make pasta.
Yeah.
Give people pasta if they want pasta or whatever. But this is Iraq. No, you're a pasta place.
Yeah.
It's fine. Everything's going to be fine.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like the what was that really famous one from a few years ago, the place that didn't want to make a wedding cake for a gay couple.
Oh yeah.
I fully agree with their stance, which is you can't make me do something I don't want to do, but you're welcome to buy one of our pre-made kind of cakes. Whatever it was, that whole thing. The world's been through it 1,000 fucking times now. I fully agree with their stance, but they weren't being we're on the front line of liberty and freedom. It's no, you're just doing what you want, and I respect that. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, instead of trying to make it a political statement. It's not good for business. It's not it's going to be, we're going to get more customers.
Yeah.
It's more like he just wanted to make a political statement because he was about whatever it was.
Well, the other side of it that I kind of understand as well is that people in his line of work are just royally fucked off at the minute because over here it's not as bad. It's still not great, but over there it's you shut us down and took all our businesses away and ruined so many people's livelihoods without giving them any support just because you could. So I can understand why they're fucked off.
Well, yeah, but then if you make it more and more public that you're not doing the health safety stuff, you're going to make it worse, right?
It's kind of like a trigger happy kind of reaction. I understand, I fully understand why they're pissed off. I completely get it. But yeah, it's just basically I get why they're angry, regardless of what they're doing.
But just don't be egotistical about it.
Yeah.
Don't be I'm making a difference in the world. It's no, you're just angry.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Be angry. But be this is the front line. I'm a hero. I don't know about it. In other news, a stunned mum almost had a heart attack when she thought her daughter escaped her cot and was grinning into the baby monitor on the floor, only to discover it was a pack of nappies. So she had baby monitor.
The picture on the nappy thing.
It's the whole article. I just found that quite funny.
She looks on the baby monitor and it's just...
Yeah, it's just a massive baby. My baby's escaped. Oh no, it was just a pack of nappies. It was the whole article. I just found that pretty funny. Oh, did you hear about? There's a lot of stuff in the. Oh yeah, there was some other stuff in the Olympics as well, actually, wasn't there? I'll do a few more. Did you hear about the Belarusian sprinter who's trying to escape Tokyo?
No.
It's very brief, but a Belarusian sprinter brought under the protection of the Japanese authorities on Monday after she made a dash for freedom at Tokyo airport.
Just ran the other way.
Yeah, she's a sprinter, right? I mean, go for it. Christina Simanuskaya, who said her team was forcing her to return home after she publicly criticised her coaches, plans to seek asylum in Poland. An activist group supporting the athlete told the Associated Press. So there was a lot more to it, but I only saw like bits of it, and it was like, yeah, she criticised her coaches or something, and then they were like, you need to pretend you have an injury and go home, and then you will be dealt with. And she was like, I don't want to go home, I want to be in the Olympics. They're like, no, you need to leave. So it wasn't that big, interesting a story. But I've got a Belarusian mate who listens to the podcast as well, and he said there was other stuff going in Belarus, and I think he translated a Belarusian news, show like Bill O'Reilly, where they like have a monologue on a news show, and I can't remember exactly what it was referring to, but it's quite. Patriotic, let's say. So I'll read it out. Europe and America, you stink. Geopolitical half-corpse is decomposing, and that stench is spreading everywhere, threatening to choke humanity. You rejected the teachings of Christ and the principles of honour and decency. When you said there's no God, you also said there's no sin. German Nazism is quintessential of the Western civilization. Mein Kampf and Marquis de Sade are your Bible. You missed one small detail. There will be no hell on earth. And there is still people who will thwart those devilish plans. Our people, I can see your eyes. European politicians, you're tired. You're weak. You have no will. You're old, flabby, and you haven't got any kids. Your hands are... So, like, I'm halfway through. But, like, it's just like... You turn on the telly and this is what's coming. What's going on? He's just having a rant.
Just one guy in California, like, yeah.
Yeah, and you haven't got any kids. Your hands are shaking. You're babbling nonsense with your mouths, degradants and mutants. All you have is a transgender heavy lifter and stupid cow eyes. And
stupid cow eyes.
Oh, your eyes are like cows. All right. And if Homer, Shakespeare, Hugo, Jack London, Goethe, De Gaulle and Hemingway were still alive, they would reject you. You're going to get rejected by Shakespeare. No! Not Shakespeare. They would use any means necessary to cross the borders and listen to Alexander Lukashenko. On this upcoming Monday. I think that's their president or whatever.
Yeah.
The great seek the great, and you are just trifling, being washed away by history. You're nothing, so just fade away into nothingness. Right now, you infinitely insult our leader. Infinitely, to the power of infinity. You slander and belch the anger you built up over the centuries, just because you're impotent and jealous. You're jealous and you're impotent. You understand that your days are numbered, and to replace these weak, old, cowardly lies marches the truth, radiant, fervent, deep and mighty. It is carried by President Lukashenko. Make way, dead men. Now over to Susie with the weather.
I want that news, man. I'm sure it's not good for the country, but just for a night. Just have Trevor McDonald, like...
Yeah, it's that robot chicken moment of just switching between channels.
Yeah.
And there's just this guy going on, you're impotent and jealous. What?
Cow eyes.
What's going on? Yeah.
And you got no kids.
Yeah, you're flabby. Shakespeare's going to reject you. Oh. Well, did you hear about, who's that, Andrew Neil? Like, he started news reading for, like, private internet news thing?
Yeah, I mean, they've been largely slandered because it's the mainstream kind of news fucking hate them, and they made them out to be like Fox News, but they're actually pretty balanced. It's good, great. GBN, like it's all on YouTube and stuff. But it's Andrew Neil was the like really well respected
figure or whatever.
presenter for like the BBC. He used to do all the political interviews and stuff. I think it was the editor for the Times for like a long time. Was it the Times? I can't remember. Maybe the Telegraph, something like that. But for a long time, and he eventually was just like, nah, fuck it. The BBC's going in this direction that I'm not keen on. These people want to give me lots of money to go and kind of head up their news thing. And it's got like him and a bunch of new people, like a bunch of people who haven't been like in the other news sources and stuff before. And there's the odd thing where it's like, well, here's a show presented by Nigel Farage, which is like, I understand divisive figure and all that, but he's got an audience, which is why he's there. It's the same with a bunch of people. There's a commentator on there as well that's like, I can't remember his name. He's famous for a character that he plays on Twitter.
I think I know who you mean. Yeah, I think I know who you mean.
Yeah,
I've seen a few interviews with them. They're like, yeah, he's like on Twitter. He's like an overly outrageously PC person or something like that.
Not Tiffany. I can't remember her name, but it's a woman anyway. Incredibly.
Sinead O'Connor.
No,
could be Sinead O'Connor. I don't know. It's just a funny name. But yeah, and their big news thing was like, we'll say the things that they won't let us say on other networks or something like that. I remember them having different but again, it could all just be bias, right? But they had a bunch of technical difficulties. I remember when it started, I saw the link and I watched it, and it wasn't quite working. And then the people they advertised apparently didn't give them permission to advertise their stuff. So it just seemed like I think it was like Copperberg or something like that was sponsored. They drink Copperberg. Copperberg's like no. we didn't say this. So you would kind of expect these random rants on stuff like that. Not obviously in this ridiculous craziness, but a bit more than centralized news.
They're actually really good. I don't know. I watched a bunch of their stuff on YouTube. It's like, they've got this guy, they've got a left-wing guy and a right-wing guy, and they both interview the guests and stuff, and it's like, well, they're both asking the questions from either side, and the guest is answering honestly because he trusts them not to attack him. It's like, this isn't like anything else that's on TV or anything.
Isn't that what Crossfire did in the 90s or something like that?
Maybe, but I don't know. It's good. People are actually honest on there from what I've seen. Yeah. If you're into kind of keeping up with current events and stuff, and you want that kind of discussion, it's worth watching. It's all on YouTube. But
I've never liked Andrew Neil, but I think it's just because all of his content is just not my content at all. It's all
absolutely.
Politics and stuff like that, and it was like, who cares?
Yeah, but they had
that's just I'm not in it.
They had Leo Kearse and a couple of other comedians on there doing a round table on free speech in comedy, and it was really good. It's stuff that you're just not getting elsewhere anyway, and all the other kind of mainstream outlets slandered it to the point now where people who've never seen it are being like, oh, it's just Fox News full of Nazis and all of that shit. It's just whatever. What? It's just but it's good. It's worth watching.
Yeah, I mean, in
other news,
segue. Yeah. This is like a larger topic, but I just found this guy quite interesting. Randall Plunkett strides through the hip high grass of Dunsany, a 1,600-acre estate in the middle of Ireland, trailed by an invisible swarm of midges and his 4 Jack Russell Terriers named Tiny, Lumpy, Chow, and Beavis and Butthead. So what? Just one of his dogs is named Beavis and Butthead. The cattle and sheep are long gone, so are 2 other lawns, and many of the crops in their place is a riot of shrubs, flowers, and trees. So basically, this is what's he called? He's something like he's a baron. He's the 21st Baron of Dunsany. And there's a movement in Ireland to no longer farm land and just let it become wild again.
Okay.
So that it reintroduces nature and stuff like that. So he's been doing that. It's probably one of Ireland's most ambitious attempt at rewilding on private land. According to the UN, the world needs to rewild an area the size of China to meet commitments
How the fuck
on
are you
nature
gonna
and
do
the
that?
climate. Just
give
China.
up your land. Everyone move to China and we'll just fuck everything else.
Yeah, and people don't like it because it doesn't look as nice, right? Like farmed fields and taking care of gardens and stuff like that. The Baron, Mr. Randall Plunkett, the Baron of Dunsany, says, "You'd be surprised when you live in a castle how many times people think you're an idiot." This sounds like a legend. Oi, Beavis and Butthead, come over. One dog comes along. What, were you expecting 2 dogs? No. Plunkett says vindication has come in multiple forms. Before, the estate had just 3 types of grass. Now it has 23. I didn't do it, the birds did, he said. Trees regenerated and multiplied. Oak, ash, beech, Scots pine and black poplar. I see lots of saplings growing that I haven't planted. So he's just like a baron he's into death metal. So he's like, oh, death metal, walk around a castle, people call me an idiot. I've got loads of grass types now. I've got 4 dogs with 5 names. I'll do one more for this week.
All right.
Pete Parada, you know Pete Parada?
No.
Drummer of Offspring has been ousted from the band for not getting vaccinated.
Oh God.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I haven't kept up to date with music, but is the Offspring still releasing albums?
I don't know. But they're still doing shows. They still perform now and again when Dexter's not out being a PhD in something or other.
Yeah, wasn't he meant to be curing HIV or something?
Yeah, something like that.
To be fair, if your lead singer, if your frontman's out there sciencing the shit out of transferable diseases, and then you come along and be like, well, I'm not going to do this because of, I think he said he believes he's got like a medical situation that it's like the risk of taking the vaccination is greater than the risk of him getting the disease. So maybe he's got some kind of situation, and he's got no ill will. Yeah. It's just, why is this in the news?
Yeah.
Well, Offspring's going to be, changing their drummer because of COVID. Like, how far into the bottom of the barrel are you for news articles?
Yeah.
So yeah, Offspring. If for all the fans of Offspring looking for the drummer at the next show, he might not be there because of COVID stuff. That's I've got more, but I'll save it for.
Right. It is nice that the world's opened up again now. We are getting all the weird and stupid stories back in. There was a chunk of time there where it was like, no one's left, so nothing's happening.
Yeah, but, just kind of seeing what's going on.
No,
what are the Offspring doing?
They're not playing. They're looking for a drummer.
Mum saw a pack of nappies on her monitor and freaked the shit out. Front page news.
Okay. 2 brothers in Charlotte, North Carolina have been killed after being hit by a train while they were mourning their other brother who was killed after being hit by a train.
Moment of silence. Toot toot. Oh, very funny, Mike. That wasn't me. Turn around, fucking train.
Two men were struck and killed by a Lynx Blue Line light train. Very specific.
Oh, a light, not a heavy one.
Light train. No, only a light train. Only a little train.
Crossing.
Tuesday morning in South Charlotte, we're conducting a memorial for their brother who was struck and killed in the same spot last week.
Just fair enough.
Yeah.
If you want to go one way, might as well go the same way that you're memorialising.
The conductor of the train stopped after the 2 brothers were hit. Police said that they suspect impairment was a contributing factor for both men.
Memorial impairment? They didn't hear it coming. They didn't hear the train coming over the sound of the memorial music.
I mean, I assume they mean, playing like Black Sabbath. Like, yeah. Like, yeah. No, I assume it just meant they were pissed, but God knows.
Oh, maybe.
People always ask, how do you get hit by a train? They're so loud. They make so much noise. They're so heavy. They blow their horn. Operation Lifesaver Executive Director Margaret Cannell said, you can't always depend on hearing the train. They're much quieter until they get right up on you.
They travel faster than the speed of sound.
Yeah. Operation Lifesaver, incidentally, is a charity for people who've been hit by trains. It's like raising awareness for people being hit by trains. Which is like, I mean, it's any way to go for those around you is a sad way to go, I'm sure.
Sure.
But like, I mean, how much awareness do you need of a train? Don't go on the train tracks.
It's like, yeah, it's not like they go on pedestrian roads or down dark alleyways. It's like, no, it's on a train track, right? It's surrounded by wood and steel. You'd think you would see it coming. Or at least, yeah, be aware of it when you're memorialising somebody who was hit by it.
Yeah. In other news, after much discussion, scientists examining a photograph of a goose flying upside down in New Zealand have concluded that it was most likely just showing off.
It's just a boastful one, okay? Well, what else did I think it was? Well, maybe he's flying down. Could be. There's no other way to get closer to the Earth than flying down.
Were you standing on your head while you were taking the picture? No, but the goose is... Yeah, no.
Ah, it's arrogant goose, isn't it?
Yeah. The manoeuvre, called whiffling, is when geese roll their body upside down and twist their neck 180 degrees to its normal position. So the goose is like facing normal as...
Right, yeah.
But its whole body is the other way around, so its feet are sticking in the air.
Right.
While the photo was taken earlier this year, it's since sparked heated debate as to why geese do this. Lars Sørenk.
Why? We have to know why. Why are they whiffling? Who called it whiffling? Why?
Lars Sørenk, a wildlife photographer and conservation science communicator for Bird Protection Netherlands, said the image might just reflect a goose that's learning new tricks. Hey!
I'm adventurous. I'm exploring my creative side, my goose acrobatics, if you will.
Yeah, upside down geese. It's like, I mean, I guess if you saw it, it would be a weird thing. But I've never seen an animal doing something and been like, why does it do that? I just assume it's just something that they do.
Yeah, it could just be doing it for fun.
Yeah.
Like, isn't it like dolphins do weird stuff with blowfish?
Yeah.
Like to get high and stuff like
something
that.
Like that.
Squirrels eat expired acorns or something.
Yeah, and bees get pissed and just...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a pissed up goose.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like turning around.
Yeah.
Do a bit of a flip.
In other news, a man in Madowa, India, has died after, quote, kidnapping and biting a baby viper. According to the Times of India, Rama Mato, 65, kidnapped and bit the baby viper outside his home in vengeance for an earlier attack outside his home.
You bite my front door, I bite your babies. All right. Extreme.
Mato's relatives said he was bitten more than 10 times in the face while chewing on the snake before throwing it into a nearby tree. He went to bed on Sunday night and was discovered dead the next morning.
Yeah, I mean, he must have expected... I mean, yeah, he had it coming. I mean,
yeah,
he literally put his face as close as he possibly could to a snake.
Yeah, it's just a weird attitude to have. Like, if a snake bit me, I wouldn't be like, well, I'm going to bite you. Like, but apparently his family were just like, you should really go to hospital to get all that sorted out. And he was like, nah, it'd be fine. Because he assumed like, oh, it's a baby viper. I'll be all right. That was his justification. It was just like, it's only a baby venom.
It's only little venom,
Yeah. But no, bitten 10 times in the face and then died.
The real winner.
Yeah.
Other snake got a free tree.
Yeah, I mean, he bit the snake a bunch and threw it away. Maybe the snake died, but it might not have done.
Exactly, and he definitely died.
Yeah.
1-0.
Yeah.
Or 2-0, because he attacked him earlier in the day.
Yeah.
It's on a roll.
And finally, 3 people in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee have been injured by a collapsing iceberg at the Titanic Museum.
History's doomed to repeat itself, right? I mean... I don't think you'd even call an ambulance, would you?
No.
You'd just be like, this is fate. You can't fight fate. I tempted fate, and I got crushed by it.
The extent of their injuries is unknown at this time, and all 3 were taken to the hospital. A spokesperson for the museum stated, "We take pride in the quality of our maintenance and have measures in place to ensure that appropriate safety guidelines are upheld."
The iceberg was just as fatal as the original. We take pride in that.
Yeah. Picture perfect. It's a real life. It's a reenactment.
And you get crushed by it as in it fell on them. Must have been, or like bits fell off.
Says it. Yeah, it collapsed. A collapsing iceberg at the Titanic Museum. But it's such a weird place to have a Titanic museum. Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Yeah, it's not. Well, it's weird what different countries pick up about other people's cultures.
Yeah.
Like London fog. It's like, I don't think it's ever been foggy in London because of the Industrial Revolution, but people are like, oh, London's really foggy. You're like, no, never has been.
Well, I mean, it was. It would have been smoggy years ago.
But like, it all went up.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not like the streets were covered in fog and smog and stuff. But it's just like, because there's a coat brand named London Fog, people are like, oh, foggy in London.
Yeah.
It's just like whatever, people just take their fancy about different cultures. So maybe people loved the Titanic in Tennessee. Who knows?
Yeah. Sorry, dog's back.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, that's me this week.
Yeah. Well, it's, if you go to a museum, you can't expect it to be 100% safe, right? You're diving into history, and history is a landmine of
if there's one place
danger,
you expect to be injured, it's a museum.
I reckon so.
Yeah.
You can't, like, every time people delve into people's Twitter history, it's always something dangerous comes out of it, right?
Yeah.
Forget about history. Move on. Go to like an abstract art museum or something. Is
At least then if you get hurt
dangerous?
or injured or whatever, you have to spend time trying to understand why.
Yeah, it's abstract.
Yeah.
It opens you up into a
abstractly
different world.
lost my leg.
Yeah. It's like, oh, well, it is a big tin of baked beans, but, I am falling down this eternal staircase. So, I don't know exactly how I'm feeling about my own demise.
Yeah, I broke every bone in my body, but I'm not going to go hungry. So.
Yeah, but this guy's got no face. So, potato.